Hello guys,
This
welcome
woman
to
here
my
is
channel.
Mrs Osinachi Nwachuku, and if you've watched Ekweme by Prosper Ochimana, she was the woman that sang that really deep Igbo part. Now, if you're online, you will see that this woman is dead as a result of domestic violence. For the longest time, she has been going through intense suffering in the hands of her husband, and guess what? The church did nothing about it, and she could not leave because of the fear of what people would say and what the church would say. And so she stayed in a relationship that eventually snuffed out the life out of her. And I really wonder why this continues in the house of the Lord. For crying out loud, this is a shining light. She is a spirit-filled, born-again child of God. And I'm very, very sure that a number of people in that church where she attends would know about her plight. People are coming out to say that this is not the first time they will see the husband abuse her. In fact, in front of them, the way he treats her, the way he just, walks all over her, preventing her from even going for outings that she's invited for and all of that. That woman has been suffering in silence for God knows how long, until eventually she died, and now we are saying rest in peace. We really, really need to do better. I saw the news, I really couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. A lot of us are suffering in silence, and even this applies to even girls that are not married to men they're in a relationship with. The man abuses you, beats you up and all of that, and you still remain there because I don't really get it. When a marriage has turned abusive, it's no longer a marriage. A marriage is between a man and a woman. Once it becomes abusive, it means you are married to a beast, because only a beast will raise his hands and beat the partner he has sworn to protect with all of his life. So when a marriage gets abusive, please pack your bags and leave. And if you're thinking about your children, like how are they going to fend for them? How about thinking about what's going to happen to them when you eventually leave and you're not allowed to watch over them and watch them grow? So, you know what? F what people say and just walk out of that marriage. Step out of the house for a while. It's better to have an alive and divorced woman than a dead and married woman. You have no use to God dead. You have no use to God in the coffin and 6 feet underground. If your marriage is abusive, pack your bags and go. And please stop caring so much about what people will say. Stop caring so much about what people will say. Dreams are dying. Lives are being destroyed because people are too obsessed with what people will say. Whether you do good or you do bad, people will talk. So just do what is best for you. And as long as you are right with God, that's all that matters. Your life, you can never replace it. May she rest in peace. Now, a lot of celebrities are coming to talk about the death of this woman, and one of such persons is Frank Edwards. He said her husband was jealous of her. He was quoting that the reason why this man consistently beat his wife was because he was jealous of her. Now, according to him, Osinachi's husband controlled her and also didn't give her money from events she was invited to minister. There was a time they wanted to help her music career, build a studio for her, etc., but her husband refused. They had to take permission from her husband, even when their intentions were good and wanted to help her. She lived in fear. She hid to call people. The singer lived in extreme domestic violence till she lost her life. Now, if you look down towards the screen, you will see the Instagram shot of Frank Rich Boy. If you want to check out the full details of this particular post I just read out, go to the Instagram page of Frank Edwards, which is at Frank Rich Boy, and check it out yourself. Now, this is for people who are claiming she died from throat cancer and are asking me, were you there? Did you see where she was beaten and all of that? The evidence is glaring. All right, now the police has not ruled. We have not heard any official or legal ruling from the police and the law enforcement agencies, but for all intents and purposes, it's clear that this woman died as a result of domestic violence. Another celebrity that came out to talk about this was Williams Uchemba. He said, and I quote, "If your pastor asks you to go back to the house where the abuser is, change church." And he has solemnly promised that if he as much as heard anyone raped or abused by a man, thank God he has money. He's going to ensure that the man faces the full wrath of the law. So people in the comment section telling me stuff like, are you married? Do you know what happened? Patience is a virtue. You need patience to keep a marriage. I hope this doesn't happen to your sister or your daughter eventually, because I don't know how you can try to justify domestic abuse and encourage the woman to stay in a situation which apparently could snuff out the life out of her. It is not godly. That is not a godly marriage. All right. And I'm still going to say it one more time. If you happen to be in any relationship where you are being abused and it looks as if you're gonna die, even if it's emotional abuse, there are some circumstances where the abuse is not physical, it is emotional. You are being maltreated, you are being manhandled, you are being given the silent treatment, and you're just not happy, your life is miserable, your BP is running high. Hello, we need you more on this planet than that marriage that is reducing the quality of your life. So I'm going to advise you to just separate from the guy and pray from a distance instead of remaining in a home that can actually kill you at any second. That is going to be my bit. I'll keep giving of Osinachi Nwachuku, and Vanguard Metro actually had an interview with her sister, Mrs. Favor Made. Stay tuned for the details of the interview. She really revealed what exactly happened and how this woman unfortunately passed away. Now, the elder sister of the late gospel music artist who died last week on alleged cancer of the throat said her sister died as a result of cluster of blood in her chest from the kicking she allegedly got from her husband, Mr. Peter Nwachuku. She said before now they had told her to come out of the marriage, but she has refused, insisting that divorce is a sin and that God is against divorce. So she said her family told her that separation is not a sin, but just for her to stay alive and take care of her children. But Osinachi will always tell them to relax and that the man will change. So she said when the man kicked her in the chest, she fell down and took her to the hospital, but he did not even tell the family. He said it was her friend who lives in Ebonyi that called her twin sister, because Osinachi has a twin sister, to ask, did your sister tell you that Peter hit her in the chest? But the sister then told her no. This lady you're looking at then told Vanguard Metro that it was the hitting on the chest that killed her. She said each time they talked to her, she will be pleading for peace, and if they move to act, she will tell them no, that they should calm down. So, contrary to popular opinion, the husband has not been arrested, because according to Mrs. Favor Made, who is Osinachi's sister, she said the husband is still in Abuja and has not been arrested. And of course, when NetNG contacted the police department at FCT, the man denied having any knowledge of the guy being arrested. The DPO said he doesn't have any knowledge of Mr. Peter Nwachuku being arrested. So the man is still at home, lounging in the house, and he has really not been arrested, contrary to what we already thought. In fact, Osinachi's sister during the interview said the husband is just boasting, and before
our families have failed us. The church have failed us. The society at large have failed us. Before I start filming this video, I called my mom and I asked her, Mommy, what if I tell you that my husband beats me every day and he threatened to kill me? I want to leave my marriage. I didn't even end the statement. My mom said, for what? Did I leave my own marriage? You want to bring disgrace to this family. Stay in that marriage and fight. That marriage belongs to you. You want to leave all what you've labored for another woman to come and enjoy without listening to me. This is exactly what a lot of women go through out there, where they run to their family. Instead of their family to listen to them and support them, they pushes them back to the war front to go and fight. You run to the church tells you it's a taboo to divorce your husband. In fact, when you divorce your husband, you are going to hell. They make you believe that divorce is not the solution. They start giving you quotations on Bible that you pray and change the man. I once listened to a preacher. He said, you have to stay in that marriage, even if the man threatened to kill you. He's just angry. His mind is going to calm down. Go and beg him. The church make us believe that when your marriage is not working out, you as a woman, you are the fault. You have to make the marriage work, even when the man don't want the marriage to work. You have to keep begging your husband. You have to keep apologizing to your husband, even when you are not wrong. Even when your husband is wrong, you have to apologize. The church makes us believe that men are the head of the family. They can live their life the way they want to live their life. We have to be under them. Now only for church, why I see say this 1 + 1 will be 2, no correct. On your wedding day, they tell you 1 + 1 come together and become 1. But when you enter inside that home, they will tell you your husband is the head of the family. You have to be submissive to him. And I asked, where that extra head can enter? Because when we were joining in matrimony, they said we are 1 head. But when you enter the marriage, the man's house, it becomes 2 head. And the man keep using the fact that he's the head of the family to suppress you. A lot of women are going through this outside because our families, our church have refused to listen to our own side of the story. Okay, you gather the courage to leave the marriage. The society at large are there waiting for you to judge you every single day. Look at her. She can't even stay in her marriage. Every day I'm praying to get married. God gave you a rich husband. You've left the man because you want to be flirting around with other men without knowing what you are going through. I feel so bad. I still think maybe this is a rumor. This woman with such a great voice is going through an abusive marriage. I even heard that the man control her account. Before you even book her, you pass through the man, you pay the money to the man's account. Why is it that our men are scared of our success?
So this
A
is how
lot
this
of
woman
men
died
are scared
as a
of their
result of
women's success.
abusive marriage.
They want to suppress the woman to make sure everything comes from them. They don't want her to shine. I even heard that even sometimes in public, she slap her or abuse her, she just cover up. I just went back to watch Ekuweme, and I said to myself, who knows if this woman received beating 5 minutes before she stood on that stage to sing, "You are the living God, oh. Is there no one like you?" Oh, gosh. Just this month, we have lost 2 great singers. 2 great gospel singers. What is happening?